Persona 5 Strikers finally released in the West, and yeah, I know we're all thinking the same thing. Striker? I hardly know her. Ha. Yeah, anyway, this game really is something to get hyped over if you like Persona 5. I mean, look at it this way. This is just a whole-ass true sequel to Persona 5. Well, except for one thing, the gameplay. This game was developed by Koei Tecmo, the guys who make all those Warriors games, and probably other stuff. And now they've finally given the Phantom Thieves the warrior treatment. I understand that this could make some people hesitant to buy the game. I was in the same position. I wasn't sure if the hack and slashing of large hordes of enemies would be for me, but turns out it was. But maybe you don't want to drop $60 on the game to find out. Don't worry though, I got you. I'll talk about the combat and other aspects to give you a better perspective on if you should buy it. I don't know if I can call this video a review though. I think it's just going to be me talking about how good the game is. But subscribe anyway, only a small percentage of you guys are actually subscribed, and that means you're missing out on some top quality content. So after you're done this video, watch the rest of my stuff to have a healthy breakfast tomorrow morning. Okay, let's get started. Oh, where do I even begin? I guess I should start off by saying that despite what everyone says, this isn't exactly a Warriors game. Sure, it does have the same combat foundation, but in Warriors games, you fight to capture different strongholds, then beat the stronghold boss to progress. But Strikers has the exact same dungeon crawling and stealth mechanics as Persona 5. It's only the actual combat that's Warrior style. You infiltrate an area, steal the treasure, no strongholds in sight. Think of it this way, Koei Tecmo has been pretty consistent in labeling its other Warrior spin-offs with the word Warriors, and they clearly thought Strikers was different enough to label it in another manner to avoid any false impressions of the Warriors brand. So the combat is Warrior styled. The word Warriors is starting to get old on me, but it also fuses various gameplay aspects of Persona 5. Sure, there's a hack and slashing, but you can combo all those attacks into an attack with your persona. Yet you'd hope you could use a persona in this game. That it would be a worry if you couldn't. To summon a persona, you press R1 and the moves list comes up. This freezes the battle entirely and you can take as much time as you need to select an attack. This mechanic is great as it somehow manages to implement a turn-based feel into an action-packed battle. It goes without saying that there's type weaknesses, status moves, and technical attacks. All the usual jazz. So you keep in mind your usual persona strats during a real-time battle. The real fun comes from the variation in each party member's style. For example, with Joker, you can press triangle to gun down an enemy, then hit him with a follow attack for crazy damage. With Ryuji, you can combo into a charged up attack with Captain Kidd and bloody clobber the enemy to death. Or with Makoto, you can just ride a bike and do some crazy ass brawl attacks. You can do anything. All the Phantom Thieves, besides Futaba obviously, are playable, and it's good fun to explore all the mechanics and pick who your secondary is, because you'll probably be maining Joker anyway. Another great part of battles is how you interact with the environment. Each arena has platforms for you to zip to, and then you can drop those platforms onto a large group of enemies to do lots of damage, or nuclear reactors that you can detonate to deal with enemies weak to nuke. Bro, they even have a skateboard that does wind-type damage for whatever reason. Each interactive part of the battle arena often have a type associated with them, which is helpful if you don't have any party members that can target the enemy's weakness. I love the level of interaction you have with the environment, as it adds yet another level of strategy on top of hack and slashing like a badass. The cherry on top would be the all-out attacks and the showtime attacks. These are super flashy attacks that do a hell of a lot of damage to a large group of enemies and are really super cool. I mean, just take a look at this.
Showtime! Are set! Here!
If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm a big fan of the battle system, but I do have one problem. A lot of bosses in the game have too much health. Like, those battles go on for far too long. You have the first stage of the boss fight where you're working out the pattern, and that's pretty engaging. Then you have the part where you figure it out and feel as though you've ascended to godhood itself. Then the boss has 22.5% more health than it should, and you sort of just fall asleep until the battle's over. The weird thing is, I only found this problem with the mini-bosses. The actual story-important bosses were fine for me. They're actually pretty hype too. But I think it's worse that the mini-bosses have that problem, as it really interrupts the flow of your progress. With that said, it's a minor problem and doesn't happen too frequently, and who knows, it may never happen if you're just really good at the game. Now that's all I really have to say on the combat. I like it. But what's stealth exploration like? Hands up if you think I'm going to start gushing again. No, even better, tell me what you think I'm going to say in the comments. Have you left a comment yet? Okay then. Yeah, it's really fun. Oh my god, it's so good. In Persona 5, you explore palaces, which are often areas confined to one building. But in Strikers, you infiltrate places called jails, which span across whole cities. While still linear, the spaces are much more open and are fun to look around in. My favorite part about jails is all the rooftop sections where you zip from building to building, like you're Batman. And you just feel really cool whilst doing it. I will say the jails aren't as artistically vibrant as palaces, but they make up for it by implementing their own quirks and gimmicks. In fact, on a purely technical and graphical level, this is the best Persona has ever looked by a long shot, and I really hope this graphical fidelity carries over into future games. As far as the jails go though, that's about all I have to say on them. They're very cool, and they make me feel cool, and the brain go happy mode. And that's a good thing. Alright. What's the story like? And no, I'm not giving spoilers, don't worry. Well, I was honestly expecting a pretty lackluster story, but damn, this is good. It's a full-fledged Persona 5 plot. High stakes, searing emotions, Riju says for real. What more could you ask for? It's really nice to see all the Phantom Thieves get together, and one thing I'm happy about is that the game has helped me grow more attached to some characters I previously didn't like as much as the rest. The game also takes time to focus more on Haru and Yosuke, two characters who definitely needed a bit more spotlight in Persona 5. If you've watched my Persona 5 video, you know that my main gripe was too many moments of useless dialogue. But besides the opening errors of the game, I personally don't think Strikers waste a single line of dialogue at all. If you couple that improved pacing with the road trip based plot, the narrative has really good flow and never gets stale. You've probably seen the new characters they've shown off in the trailers, being Sophia and Zenkichi Hasegawa. Again, I did not expect much from these two, but now they're right up there with my favorite Persona characters. Sophia is a mysterious AI who joins the Phantom Thieves in order to understand the human heart. And yeah, she's nice. I can't say much more on her because of spoilers, but her shop menu looks nice as all hell. Then there's Zenkichi, a public sector detective who's investigating Japan's change of heart epidemic. He provides the Phantom Thieves with handy tidbits of information, but is he friend or foe? You'll have to play to find out that one. Both these characters will pull at your heartstrings like crazy, on top of the usual string yanking the Phantom Thieves always get up to. The story does borrow certain twists from Persona 5 in the end, but hey, I like that story too, so I'm not gonna complain. One thing to keep in mind is that confidants and social links are not present in this game, and are replaced by an overall grip bond that is leveled up through points that allows you to upgrade certain abilities. There are still individual character interactions, but keep in mind that a lot of these characters have already been fleshed out, so the focus is more so on the newbies. But to make up for the confidant side of the game, Strikers has awesome cutscenes. The anime style cutscenes clearly have a much higher budget than Persona 5's, so your immersion is never broken by some dodgy looking frames. But most of the action is portrayed through in-game models, and they look so good in Strikers. Not only do you get to see the Phantom Thieves models look great in the cutscenes, but they are much more expressive in movement, and when you get to an action scene, oh man, are they well animated. Finally getting to see fully choreographed fight scenes in a Persona game was really refreshing, hyped me up like I was watching Dragon Ball. Don't even get me started on the final fight scene, pants were jizzed in that moment. God, what else do I have to say? Oh shit. The music! You can't forget about that. The soundtrack is awesome. A lot of it is rock remixes of songs like Last Surprise and Rivers in the Desert. Then there's new bangers like Counter-Strike and Daredevil. And the final boss theme is hype as fuck. And damn, I swear Lynn just gets better with every game she records for. Oh, but the one problem with music is sometimes it's hard to hear dialogue over the music. But this was recorded at home because of the pandemic, so I will cut Atlas some slack. And that's all I have to say in Persona 5 Strikers. If you're a fan of Persona 5, well, what are you still doing here? Go play this awesome sequel and tell me all about your experience in the comments. Seriously, why are you still here? Go away, go play, and also subscribe. Only a small percentage of you are, and watch the rest of my videos. Go, play the damn game!